This is Fox 2 News in the Morning.
It is official. The Rams no longer call St. Louis home. They're headed west to Los Angeles. So what's the reaction from officials here at home?
Rams fans speak out on that decision to move the team out of St. Louis. The different reactions we're hearing to the news.
What do you have to say to St. Louis fans, sir?
I think I said it. Thank you.
So we're going to look for a home.
St. Louis isn't in our interest.
The end of an era in St. Louis. Live team coverage of the Rams moved to L.A.
And suddenly it's cold in St. Louis. Morning temps in the teens, but here comes a warming trend today.
Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, January 13th.
Also ahead on Fox 2 News at 5, a deadly fire swept through a home in Valdez City. The harrowing tale of family members rescuing a wheelchair-bound person.
President Obama delivering his last State of the Union address last night. We'll have the highlights from his speech this morning.
And the unusual approach a thief used to get away with a python from a pet store.
5:01 on the clock. Let's head to Glenn straight away and find out about a cold morning.
Pretty chilly across the bi-state. We do get a south breeze going, though, through the day. That south wind already starting to show up a little bit here early this morning. And with that, warmer air will be eventually transported into the metro area. Pre-sunrise, though, we're pretty cold. 19 in the metro area. Wind chill right now, minor across a lot of the region because the wind currently is fairly light. But again, that south breeze and some sun going to warm us back to normal temperatures and above normal temps tomorrow. Pretty good trend for a couple of days. We'll show you the rest of the extended outlook coming up in a couple of minutes. Monica's checking her.
All right, we have hit midweek the first couple of days, kind of rough, at least in that 6:30 to 8 o'clock time frame. So hopefully we can start pretty good this morning and then let that continue into the next few hours. Right now, a live look for you at the Poplar Street Bridge. Illinois looks great.
Topping our news, the NFL owners vote 30-2 to let the Rams move to Los Angeles.
Stan Kroenke will get to build his massive new stadium in Inglewood, California. We have live team coverage this morning of the decision. Fox 2's Chris Rier has fan reaction in Maryland Heights, but we begin with Fox 2's Seth Lemon at Rams Park in Earth City. Good morning, Seth.
Hey, good morning, Kevin and Margie. It was a marathon day of voting. The owners, NFL owners in Houston, behind closed doors for 10 hours, a day of voting and re-voting that ended with the overwhelmingly majority decision to allow Stan Kroenke to move the Rams from St. Louis to Los Angeles. And it was a long decision that took a lot of hard work and a lot of effort, a lot of thought on the part of the owners. And we heard from one of them, Kroenke, for the first time publicly in more than 4 years.
It is a difficult process, and as Roger said, it is bittersweet. We understand the emotions involved of our fans, and it's not easy to do these things. They are purposefully made hard.
Kroenke also said it was difficult to build a stadium in St. Louis, and he pointed out that it was a tough decision for him. The NFL Riverfront Stadium Task Force called the NFL's decision a flawed process that ended with an unthinkable result and pointed out what they feel is a double standard. The NFL rejected St. Louis's request for an additional $100 million for stadium funding, but offered that same amount to both the Chargers and Raiders for potential new stadiums. Task Force leader Dave Peacock feels they were misled.
Kind of look back and say, man, it's almost like you didn't want that plan to come to fruition. So it's really that. I mean, I've dealt in business for a long time. I get it. It's like, hey, we want to do this. We want to do Inglewood because that we just think X, Y, and Z, and we think fans are okay. But tell us that a year ago.
Local officials are responding there. Slay issued a statement saying, quote, the NFL ignored the facts, the loyalty of St. Louis fans who supported the team through far more downs than ups, and the NFL ignored a strong market and viable plan for a new stadium. Missouri Governor Jay Nixon also issued a statement calling St. Louis a world-class city that deserves a world-class NFL team, and said they would review the NFL's decision before determining what steps to take. St. Louis County executive said that for him, as a lifetime resident of St. Louis and a football fan, that this was extremely disappointing to him. It's a sentiment that's definitely felt around the St. Louis region this morning. We're live outside of Rams Park in Earth City. Seth Lemon, Fox 2 News.
As you might expect, Twitter lit up like a Christmas tree once the decision was announced. Both past and present Rams players chimed in on the team's move to L.A. Current defensive end Robert Quinn tweeted, "Thank you, St. Louis, for all the great memories created, and thank you, fans, for all the support. Hashtag STL 2011 to 2016. L.A. here we come." Former Rams quarterback Kurt Warner tweeted, "Want to send a shout out to all the awesome St. Louis Rams fans in the Lou. You made my time there extremely special, and we will never forget you."
And as you might imagine, Rams fans have strong feelings to losing the team that called St. Louis home for 21 seasons. Some fans calling the news a punch in the gut. We have Fox 2's Chris Renier continuing our team coverage. He's live in Maryland Heights with that part of the story. Good morning, Chris.
Margie, more than you. You know, the Rams move sure to be the talk of the town all around St. Louis today in stores like this 7-Eleven here on Chutes near Page. News of the Rams leaving unfolded as fans were heading into the Blues game last night down at Scott Trade. Some were ready to say good riddance to the team and Stan Kroenke, who they feel didn't want to be in St. Louis anyway. Others were upset, though, saying the move leaves fans here out in the cold who have stuck by the team through thick and, in recent years, lots of thin. Here is some of what the fans told us about St. Louis losing an NFL team for the second time.
Honestly, I really don't like it. I think the Rams should stay in St. Louis. I mean, they're getting better as we go along, but I just feel like it'll take away from the city. I like the Rams. I love them being here. I think they bring a good presence to the town. It's sad to see that.
I don't like it. I think somebody should have to pay the task force back. That's $16 million, and that's pretty much it.
C'est la vie. I don't know. Maybe we'll get another team, one that wants to be here, right?
I think that we've given them all we have, and if they don't want it, then move on. You know, we've lost a lot of teams, and we're still shining. We're one of the best sports cities in America.
Now, we are also at the 7-Eleven here this morning because the drawing for the massive Powerball jackpot is tonight. The machine's just kicking on here at 5 o'clock this morning. The jackpot now $1.5 billion, the largest jackpot ever offered in the world. As you can see, it is so big, it doesn't even fit on the screen here anymore, so workers just writing in the amount. So, Kevin and Margie, if you're bummed out, depressed about the Rams leaving, maybe the thought of being $1.5 billion richer will cheer you up. Tickets, of course, only $2 a piece. If we win, we can buy the Rams, bring them back.
Or buy another team.
Or we'll bring somebody here. We'll bring somebody here, yeah.
Exactly. Thank you, Chris. Chris Renier live here in Maryland Heights. Now, as Rams fans in St. Louis wake up to the harsh reality they've lost their team, fans in Los Angeles celebrate the return of their former team, chanting words you certainly will not hear in St. Louis.
Thank you, Kroenke. Thank you, Kroenke.
The Rams played in Los Angeles for 49 years, from 1946 to 1994. Coincidentally, the league allowed the Rams to move from Cleveland to L.A. on January 12, 1946. That's 70 years to the day that the St. Louis Rams would move back to Los Angeles. L.A. fans are ecstatic their team is back.
LA's first